प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे, रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय श्रीरामचन्द्राय ॐ। So we have finished sixth sarga in the last session. We will start with Saptama Sarga. So in this sarga we will see the description of the ministers of Dasharatha. So the you should visualize the what should I say, cinematography perhaps of how Valmiki is presenting the story. First he is describing the city. So the opening scene of Valmiki's storytelling is the city of Ayodhya is described, and then I mean as a general picture he shows. Opening picture is city of Ayodhya. Then he gets a little specific, that is he describes the citizens of Ayodhya. Then he gets even more specific, he describes the ministers. So he's going more and more specific, and ultimately in the next chapter onwards the direct speech, the dialogues will start. So as of now he's describing, so he's taking three sargas to describe the picture. So that's how we should see this sarga. So in this sarga we will see that 8 ministers of Dasharatha are being mentioned. So it's important to note that so if you want to take this as an Adhyatma Shastra, then 8 ministers are nothing but the Ashtadha Prakriti. So Prakriti or Anatma Varga in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna puts it into 8 categories. So 8-fold. It comes in 7th chapter. So Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayuhu Khammano Buddhirevacha Ahankaram Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakriti Ashtadha. So he says my Prakriti is Ashtadha, 8-fold. So it's important to note that even in Krishna's case, what we say as Ashtamahishis, 8 wives of Krishna, is in the story you see 8 wives. So Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Lakshmana and things like that. But then in if you want to see it philosophically, it is the Ashtadha Prakriti of Ishvara. So this entire Anatma Varga is put into 8 categories. So this Jiva enjoys all this Anatma Varga, enjoys this world through the operation of this Anatma Varga, and the world itself is this 8. So what are those 8-fold Ashtadha Prakriti? So the Pancha Tanmatras, so Pancha Bhutas when we say, I mean the Tanmatras, not though in Vedanta we know that you have originally the Tanmatras, the Pancha Bhutas in themselves. Then there is this process of Panchikaranam where the Bhutas get mixed. So half of, so Prithvi, Vayu, up, Tejas, so Prithvi, so waters, and then Vayu, wind, and Tejas, which is fire, and Akasha. These 5 are there, and then these 5 originate, and then there is something called Panchikaranam which happens, which is that half of each of these remain. I mean, I don't want to get into Panchikaranam as a topic, but I'm just giving you a brief idea. And then half goes, and then so 50%. So what we experience as the world today, the Panchabhutas, there are actually Bhautikas. They are not pure Panchabhutas. They are the grosser manifestations of those Panchabhutas, and that grossification happens through this process called Panchikaranam, which is that if you take Prithvi today, so Prithvi today consists of, Prithvi doesn't mean earth, Prithvi means the Parthiva, whatever, the Parthiva element in this world. So that consists of 50% of Prithvi and 12.5% of water, wind, air, fire and space. So something like that. So all other elements are also like that, 50% themselves and 12.5% of the other 4. But the Ashtadha Prakriti, when you are counting, there it is Tanmatras, the original 100% elements, and then Ahankara, then Buddhi, and so Buddhi, Ahankara and Manas. So these 8. So Manas there, so Buddhi and Ahankara. So there are, I mean, it's much more than the Buddhi and Ahankara we generally know. So Shankaracharya so interprets it as Mahat and Avyakta and things like that. But for now you can take them to be in the ordinary Manas, Buddhi and Ahankara that we know, and the 5 elements. So 5 tanmatras, and these 3 together form the Ashtadha Prakriti of Krishna, which is his 8 wives, which we call. So here also you should see that this Anatma Varga is 8, and then Dasharatha is the king, and these are ministers. So he is ruling over these ministers and ultimately the citizens. So the king is the conscious entity, the Atma, which is different from Anatma. But the problem is the Atma doesn't know its Paramartha nature. So that is the other part of story. So for now, this Ashtadha Prakriti is nothing but these 8 ministers that is coming up here. So we will see that. And also you should see, I keep telling this always, these are nice verses to remember from Kalidasa's first chapter. Let me take some time in saying that this is a small chapter, so we might finish it today. We should be finishing it today. So Kalidasa in the beginning, I've told this in last class also. So I was referring to this taxation, how king collects taxes only to redistribute. So I was not getting that shloka, but now today I got it, which is that Tyagaya Sambhritarthanam. So Tyagaya Sambhritarthanam Yashase Vijigishunam, then Prajaye Grihamedhinam. Then there is one more. So why are they collecting taxes? They are collecting taxes only to redistribute, and then they are getting married. These Raghu kings, why are they getting married? To get progeny so that the kingdom goes on, and then like that. So Satyaya Mitabhashinam, they are speaking. Yeah, Satyaya Mitabhashinam, they are speaking. But why are they speaking? They are speaking so that only truth be told. So when you open your mouth and speak, you should speak the truth. That's the meaning. So all this you will see that the qualities of ministers that is being described by Valmiki in this chapter, the same qualities are mentioned by Kalidasa as the qualities of the Ikshvaku kings, the Raghu Vamsha kings. So he takes a lot of inspiration from Valmiki Ramayana itself. So interestingly, it's nice to remember of a great Mahatma that I met. So I'm not telling my story, I'm telling the story of that Mahatma. So I don't even know, she's a lady, so I don't know her name. By the time I met her, she was very old. She was 90 plus, so 92 or 93. And then in some months that I met her, after some months she even passed away. She was a great devotee of Rama. So she was very old and she was slim, and then she would wear ochre clothes. She used to have some jata, and of course she was married by then, but then she was very old, and then her family, children, grandchildren were all there. And then I happened to meet her when there is another family of Mahatmas that I met in life. She also came to that house because some wedding was supposed to happen the next day. And then they have a dog in the house. From morning, the dog has been barking. But then this lady came. Everybody by then were already complaining that the dogs are creating nuisance. They had 2 dogs. So this Mahatma, so she was listening to the dogs barking and saying, see, even the dogs are shouting as Rama, Rama. So she didn't hear the dogs barking. She would hear even the barking of dogs as Rama. So then they took her to a small room. I mean, and there were 4 or 5 other people. Of course, the house itself was so many people. They were busy with the wedding preparations, which was supposed to happen the next day. But then she was taken to a room, and I was told about her. So I also went to the room to talk to her. And then there were some people sitting around, and they were asking her some questions. What about this? What about that? And things like that. So she would very humbly say, I'm an ordinary lady. I don't know all these things. So, and she would say like that. And then I also tried to ask her one question, which is I asked her, how should we live in life? So these are some questions you should always have ready when you talk to Mahatmas, perhaps. So I asked her a simple question. I was expecting to me also she will say that, what do I know? I'm an ordinary lady. Then she looked at me and she said, she said, so I still remember till this day, she said, somehow when I talk to you, my Rama is making me speak. When I see you, my Rama is making me speak, and that's why I'm saying this. And she quoted this shloka from Kalidasa. That's why I'm saying, which is, she said, Saishave Abhyasta Vidyanam Yavane Vishayeshinam Vardhake Munivrittinam Yogenante Tanutyajam. So how should you live in life? You should live like this. So she quoted the shloka of Kalidasa. So Saishave Abhyasta Vidyanam. In your childhood, you study what is to be studied. All the Shastras you study and acquire knowledge. And Yavane Vishayeshinam. When you are younger, you enjoy all the pleasures. And then Vardhake Munivrittinam. When you get, so you enjoy pleasures means you get married, have children and things like that. Vardhake Munivrittinam. So when you get old, you leave the house and live a life of Muni. So, and then Yogenante Tanutyajam. In the end, when the end of your life comes, so you leave your body like a yogi. So this is what she said. So that is also from Kalidasa's that first sarga. I still remember that conversation with her. So No, no, it's not. I don't know her name. So she was called Ramudubama, which means so Rama grandmother. That's how people used to call her. And she passed away after 2 3 months of that. She even passed away. It was a very nice experience meeting her. But so anyway, I will tell some other day maybe about her. So she would tell me how she told me how she got her Rama mantra diksha, and then she also, I remember she was very old by then. So but then she would go to temple every day, and it seems just 2 3 days back she fell down in the temple. So she told me, she looked at me and told that, Hanuman came and picked me up when I fell down. Somebody had to pick me up, so Hanuman came and picked me up. So and things like that. Anyway, so she also quoted that shloka from Kalidasa, and this first sarga of Raghuvamsha we had in our intermediate first year. So that's how I remember. That's around the same time when I met her also. So I remember that shloka. As soon as she said, I could get the meaning. She didn't tell the meaning. She just quoted the shloka, and then I could connect with the meaning. Anyway, so Atha Saptamas Sargaha. So it's good to remember that great Mahatma. So she lived a life of, for her everything was Rama. So like I said, even the dogs barking, she only heard Rama. So she had no complaint and things like that. A very great lady. अथ सप्तमः सर्गः तस्यामत्या गुणैरासन् इक्ष्वाको सुमहात्मनः मन्त्रज्ञाश्चेङ्गितज्ञाश्च नित्यं प्रियहिते रताः तस्यामात्याः. So tasya Dasharathasya amatyaha, ministers. So you will find two words here, amatya and mantri. So amatya and mantri, literally, I mean, both are what should I say, words for minister only. But amatya here in this context, you should take that these are ministers. Like today we have home minister, finance minister, defense minister. There is a prime minister, and then there are these ministers. So, or there is a president, and then there are these ministers. These ministers take care of the affairs of running the kingdom. These are called as amatyaha. And then mantrinaha, which comes later. So mantrinaha, so mantra actually means that the what is kartavya and akartavya, that vichara is called mantra. So mantrinaha literally means those who know, those who do the vichara of what is to be done and what is not to be done. So for the king, so what the king should do and what he should not be doing. So that vichara, those who do, they are called mantris. So here in this chapter, the word mantrinaha is used for the purohitas of Dasharatha. So that also comes, we will see when it comes. So tasya amatyaha gunairasan ikshwako sumahatmanaha. So ikshwakoho means Dasharathasya. So ikshwakoho means, literally it means of Ikshwaku, but then it means Ikshwaku. So he who has come in Ikshwaku's Vamsha is also called Ikshwaku. So Mahatmas say, I think Kalidasa himself says this, if I remember rightly, that the greatness of this lineage, Ikshwaku lineage, is so great that you can take any one king's name and call that lineage by that king's name. So Raghunam Anvayam Vakshye. So actually it's Ikshwaku kingdom, but it's also Raghu's kingdom. So each king is like that. Each king is so great that you can refer to that lineage by that king's name. Usually you refer to the lineage by the most prominent king's name, but this lineage is so great. So that's why even Dasharatha is called Ikshwaku. So actually it means that one who has come in Ikshwaku's line. So Sumahatmanaha, of that great Dasharatha, who is a great Mahatma. Mantrajnascha ingitajnascha. So mantra, I told you, so kartavya karma vichara they do, they who know that. So they know what is kartavya and akartavya, and they arrive at it by what should I say, so we have this cabinet meeting, something like that. So they all sit together and decide what is to be done and what is not to be done, that they know. And ingitajnascha, so what is ingitam? Ingitam is parabhiprayaha. So the what is there in other people's minds. So what is there in other people's minds also, they are I mean, they are capable of knowing without any difficulty, and without they expressing it also, they are able to know. That is called ingita. Ingita is the cheshta of the other people, and these people are ingitagnya. Ingitagnya means one who knows that parabhipraya. And then nityam priyahite rataha. So gunairasan means so they have a lot of gunas in them. So so nityam priyahite rataha. So nityam priyahite rataha is so they are always engaged in whatever is good for the king. Rajakrityeshu tadanushthaneshu anuraktas tatparaha. So they are always engaged in whatever is good for the king. So welfare of the king means welfare of the kingdom. So that we should keep in mind. Ashtau babhur veerasya tasyamatya yashasvinaha shuchayaschanuraktascha Rajakrityeshu nityashaha. So Ashtau babhuvuhu. So how many of those ministers, how many were there? So there were 8 of them. So it seems, so Manu has said in his Dharma Shastra that a king should have 7 or 8 ministers. So that the appropriate number of ministers in the kingdom are 7 or 8. So according to that, he had 8 ministers. So Ashtau Babhuvuhu Virasya. So Virasya is Dasharathasya, of that Veera Dasharatha. Tasya Virasya Amatyaha Yashasvinaha. So that are famous, great fame for being such great kings, such ministers. He had how many? 8 of them. Shuchayaha is, so they are very, I mean, they are very clean and things like that. So Shuchayaha, yeah, Shuchayaha is, you should say, so they don't have this how should I put it? So we will see that later also, which is that what they speak, what they say, and what they think, all are same. So they are aligned. So their thought, words, and actions are in alignment. They are not saying something else and doing something else and thinking something else. It's not like that. So that is the idea there. Shuchayascha anuraktascha rajakrityeshu. So rajakrityeshu anuraktaha. So what is the kartavya of the king? What is welfare for the king? They are interested in that welfare of the king. Then Nityashaha. Nityashaha means they are always engaged in whatever is welfare for the king. So now the names of those 8 ministers. So Dhritirjayanto Vijayaha Surashtro Rashtravardhanaha Akopo Dharmapalascha Sumantrashchashtamorthavit. So there are 8 people. What are their names? Dhrishtihi, that is one, and then Jayantaha, Vijayaha, Surashtraha, Rashtravardhanaha. So these are 5, and then Akopaha, Dharmapalaha, so 6, and then these are, sorry, yeah, these are 7, and then Sumantrascha Ashtamorthavit. So this Arthavit is an adjective to Sumantraha. So Sumantraha Ashtamaha. So Sumantra is the 8th one, and he is Arthavit. So Arthavit means one who knows. What should I say? One who knows what is to be done. So it's just used as a special adjective to Sumantra, because Sumantra is more dear to Dasharatha of all of these people. So he's a long time friend also of Dasharatha, and also he's Dasharatha's charioteer. So he's also the minister and also the charioteer. So Arthavit, as I was reading this evening, I thought Arthavit means finance minister. So you can say Sumantra was also the finance minister of the kingdom. And then Ritvijo. So Sumantra is an important character in Ramayana. Now another important character is introduced in the next shloka. Ritvijo dvavabhimato tasyam तस्यास्ताम ऋषि सत्तमो वसिष्ठो वामदेवश्च मंत्रिणश्च तथा परे. So Ritvijo, so two people he's saying. So there are 2 Ritviks. Who are they? Vasishtho Vamadevascha. So Vasishtha and Vamadeva. So 2 Ritviks are there. They are, so Dvau Ritvijo, 2 Ritviks. They are Abhimato. Abhimato means they are important. Of all the other Ritviks, they are Abhimato means they are important. So Tasyaha Dasharathasya Tasya tam rishisattamo. So rishisattamo means so tasya tam means of that Dasharatha. These 2 are rishisattamo. They are great rishis. So this Vasishtha and Vamadeva are great rishis, and they are and then this Vasishtha and Vamadeva we know. So Vasishtha is a very important character we know, and as students of Vedanta we also know that Vasishtha comes in the, so Vasishtha is the first human, what should I say, human receptor of that Jnanam. So Narayanam Padmabhuvam Vasishtham Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha we say. So after Narayana, from Narayana this Jnanam or Vedanta or Veda itself came to Brahmaji, and from Brahmaji it came to Vasishtha we say. So Vasishtha is a Mahatma that way. And then Vamadeva. Vamadeva also is a great Vedantin. So in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad we find this name of Vamadeva. So famous mantra is there. So Aham Manurabhavam Suryascha. So the mantra goes like that. So Vamadeva says, so he had great, what should I say, great realization, and after that realization he declares, I am the Manu, I am the Surya, and things like that. He declares, I am Rudra, I am Indra, and things like that he says. So these are all great jnanis, and they are mantrinascha. So tathapare means there are other Ritviks also whose names will come in the next shloka, and they are mantrinascha. So they are so like I said, the previous ministers are Amatyaha, and these are Mantrinaha. Mantrinaha means, so these are religious ministers. So that's how English translation is given. So Mantrinaha is, they, so here a differentiation is given between what is Amatyaha. Amatya is they carry on the affairs of the day-to-day running of the kingdom. So administration of the kingdom is carried on by the Amatyaha, and Mantrinaha carry forward, they do what is, they are Vyavahara Drashtaraha. So what is to be done by the king. So the king's welfare, ultimately the kingdom's welfare, these people have in mind. So they are the Purohitas of Dasharatha. Then the Tathapare, others are there. Who are they? So Suyagnopyatha Jabalihi Kashyapopyatha Gautamaha Markandeyastu Dirghayuhu Tatha Katyayano Dvijaha So those names of other people, Suyagnaha, Suyagnaha, and then Api means also Atha Suyagnaha, Jabalihi. So Jabali also plays an important role, we will see later. And then Kashyapaha, and then Gautamaha, then Markandeyaha, and then Markandeya is an adjective is given to Markandeya, Dirghayuhu. So we know the story of Markandeya. So the Dirghayu Markandeya, he is also there in Dasharatha's court. And then Katyayano Dvijaha. So these others are also Dvijaha, but this Katyayana is even more specially, the word Dvijaha is adjective is used for Katyayana. So these are all great tapasvis, rishis who are there in Dasharatha's court. So Vishwamitra also, when he comes, he will say, so Aham Vedmi Mahatmanam Ramam Satyaparakramam. So and then he says, so I know the greatness of Rama, and all these rishis who are there in your court, they also know the greatness of Rama. So these are those rishis which Vishwamitra will refer to later. And then Etair Brahmarshibhir Nityam Ritwijastasya Paurvakaha Vidya Vinita Hrimantaha Kushala Niyatendriyaha. So mind you, they are Paurvakaha. Paurvakaha means, so they are very old. So they have always been there in the court of Ikshvakus. So Dasharatha may come and go, but then his father was there, Aja, and then his grandfather, Dasharatha's grandfather was there, his great grandfather was there. So this Vasishtha, Vamadeva, etc., they are always been there in the court. So they give some kind of stability, let's say, of policy. So these kings come and go, they are born and they die, but these Purohitas, great Maharshis, so they are Brahmarshis, they are like Brahmarshi. So these Brahmarshis have always been there. So Etai Brahmarshibihi Nityam Ritvijas Tasya Paurvakaha. So Nityam Etaihi Brahmarshibihi, these Brahmarshis. So Ritvijaha, so they are the Ritviks for the Dasharatha. Vidya Vinita Hrimantaha Kushala Niyatendriyaha Shrimantascha Mahatmanaha Shastragnya Dridhavikramaha Kirtimantah Pranihita Yathavachanakarinaha. So these, from okay, let me finish the 6th shloka. So these Brahmarshis, they are Paurvika means, so Paurvika means you can say they are like they desire the welfare of Dasharatha like his own father. So they are like father to Dasharatha in their desire of welfare of the king. They are like fathers. And then but also it means they are Paurvaka means they are very old. So they have been coming since time immemorial, they have always been there. So you will see later during Sita Rama Kalyanam, so Vasishtha will mention the lineage beginning from Ikshvaku, and then Vasishtha is there since that time. He has been there, he has seen all those kings, but he has been the guru to all of them. And even after Rama, so Lava and Kusha, so he has been the guru to all of them. So and then Paurvakaha, and then Vidya Vinitaha. Vidya Vinitaha can mean, so two ways. So Vidyaya Vinitaha, so they have, so because of their Vidya, because of their study, they are very humble. So that it can mean that, or it can mean Vidyasu Vinitaha, or I mean the alternate meaning is they have been educated or trained. Vinitaha, you can say trained in various disciplines, so various subjects they have studied. So Vidya Vinitaha you can just simply take as they are humble due to their Vidya. So Vidya Dadati Vinayam we say. So they are humble because of their learning. So Hrimantaha is, so they are, I don't know how to translate Hrimantaha into English. Hrimantaha is, so they have some kind of, what should I say, shyness. So they are a little shy about that's how Mahatmas are. They don't just what should I say, so they don't proclaim themselves a lot, they don't speak about themselves a lot. It's like that. So they have some shyness, so they are like that. Then Kushalaha Niyatendriyaha. Kaushala means so skillful. So Kushalaha means they are skillful, and then Niyatendriyaha means they have their indriyas under control. Shrimantascha Mahatmanaha Shastragnya Drudha Vikramaha Kirtimantah Pranihita Yathavachana Karinaha. So from 7th shloka onwards you should use, so these are very many adjectives are being used. So Tirthakara says take it appropriately either to the Amatyas or to the Mantris, whatever fits. Some of them fit to both of them, some of them fit to only either of them. So Shrimantaha means they are Lakshmivantaha. So they have, you can say they are beautiful to look at, or you can say they have this Vidya Lakshmi is there, or you can say they are by themselves because these kings pay them well perhaps. So they are, I mean they are wealthy enough, that way you can say. And then Mahatmanaha is, so they are Mahatmas. So Mahatmanaha here in this context perhaps you can take as, so they are always thinking of welfare of everybody, not just them. This will come later also. So they think of the welfare of everybody. And then Shastragnya, so somewhere else Shastragnya is given meaning, but then here Tilakakara takes as Shastragnya. So they know various Astra Shastras, they know. They are trained in the usage of Astras and Shastras. And then Dridhavikramaha. Dridhavikramaha is so their Vikrama or their prowess is strong. That means if they have undertaken something, they always see to its completion. And then Kirtimantaha. Kirtimantaha is they enjoy a lot of fame. So they are famous for their integrity, for their buddhi kushalata, for their intelligence, and for how they guide the king. They are famous for also. It comes later in the sarga. They are famous in all countries around. So they are famous like that. Then Kirtimantaha. Pranihita Yathavacanakarinaha. Yathavacanakarinaha is what I told you. So there is a shloka like that. So Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam, Mahatmanam, Manasyanyat, Vachasanyat, Karmanyanyat, Duratmanam. So how Mahatmas are, so what they think, what they say, what they do is same. So what they think, so by their thoughts, by their actions, and by their words, they are in alignment. And then Duratmas are the opposite. So they say something, they do something, they think something. So this Yathavachana Karinaha means, so as they say, so they do. So they do as they declare. So Pranihita I should see. Pranihita. So Pranihita Nikhila karmaswana anavadhanata rahitaha. So they are always, so Pranihitaha means that they are not what should I say, they don't what should I, so they always do what is their duty, they don't abscond from their duty. So that's the meaning. Then Teja Kshama Yashaf Praptaha Smita Purva Bhibhashinaha Krodhat Kamartha Hetorva Nabruyur Anrutam Vachaha Tejaha Kshama Yashaf Praptaha. So Tejaha means they have a certain brilliance about them. And then Kshama is they are very forgiving. And then Yashaf Praptaha. So Tejah Praptaha, Kshama Praptaha, Yashaf Praptaha. You can take like that. So they have great fame. And then Smita Purva Bhibhashinaha. So this quality keeps coming in case of Rama also. So Smita Purva Bhibhashi means they always speak first. So so if somebody is coming towards them, they will be the first to what should I say, to talk to them, and then they talk smilingly. So they start the conversation with a smile. So they're not very grudging people. So very happily they talk to everybody. And then Krodhat Kamartha Hetorva Nabruyur Anrutam Vachaha. So they don't speak an untruth word. So they always speak truth. So like I said, so Kalidasa borrows all this from here. Satyaya Mitabhashina. So they speak less, but whenever they speak the truth. So Nabruyur Anrutam Vachaha means they always speak the truth. And what are the reasons why somebody will speak untruth? So it could be either due to krodha, due to anger, or kama, or because of their own. So they have some, what should I say, they have some benefit. So they have some benefit in speaking the untruth. So they speak, or artha hetava. So artha is benefit. Kama is they have some kind of what should I say? So they have some desire to speak or something like. So they get benefited somehow by speaking the untruth. Only then they speak. Either you are angry, or you have some advantage that you, so some quid pro quo, I don't know how to translate it. So they have some benefit for speaking untruth. But these people are either out of anger or due to any other benefit, they never speak the untruth. So they have no incentive to speak untruth, or they never speak untruth due to anger also. And then Teshama Viditam Kinchit Sveshu Nasti Pareshua Kriyamanam Kritam Vapi Charenapi Chikirshitam. So this is a nice shloka. So in Ramayana we should keep in mind that, so like I've been saying from the beginning, Kanta Samhita. So Kanta, so what is, so Prabhu Samhita, Suhrit Samhita, and Kanta Samhita. So Prabhu Samhita is like a order. So you have to do like this. And then Suhrit Samhita is friend is, so he will tell you, it's good if you do like this. And then Kanta Samhita, Kanta or a beloved person. So she does not tell you what to do and what not to do. She will just hint. So she will, through her actions, she will hint. So here in Valmiki Ramayana, you can always see all characters, so all relationships, everything, the contrast is always given. So you have this varied kind of character. So between wife and husband, if you take relationship of wife and husband, then you will see many characters of wife and husband and their sambhashana, everything in Ramayana, and then it's up to you to choose how you want to do. So that is the Kanta Samhita thing. So why am I saying this? I will tell you. But then Rama and Sita is one example, and then Ahalya and Gautama you will see. So however, So according to Valmiki's Ramayana, Ahalya clearly knows that the person who has come is Indra only. So clearly having known that the person who has come is Indra and not Gautama, but still she welcomes him. So even in that case, Gautama does not abandon Ahalya. So this Parityaga, Bharya Parityaga is not there anywhere in Ramayana. So that is one example, Gautama and Ahalya. And then you will see so Tara and Vali, and then you will see Ravana and Mandodari, then you will see Atri and Anasuya. So these are all characters given to you, and it's up to you to choose from where you want to do. What you want to, how you want to live, you can choose. So why am I saying is, so even in the case of ministers, so you have two sets of ministers presented in Ramayana, so no prizes for guessing. One is the ministers of Dasharatha's court, and the other is the ministers of Ravana's court. So Dasharatha's ministers are described here, and Ravana's ministers are described by Shurpanakha. So Shurpanakha, when she goes to Lanka to report these events, that she has been humiliated and then these Khara Dushana have been killed, all these she has to go and tell to Ravana. When she goes and tells, she discovers that Ravana does not know of these events in Janasthana, where his garrison has been attacked and things like that. So at that time she makes a very important statement. So a part of that comes here also. So Chakshubhyam Chakshubhyam Prasuptopi Jagarti Naya Chakshusha. So she says how a minister should be, how a king also should be. So even if he's sleeping, even if his eyes are closed and he's sleeping, he's so Jagarti Naya Chakshusha. Naya is policy making, or in today's language, if we have to use, we have to say this intelligence bureau. So Naya Chakshusha Jagarti. So by that sight of policy, or by the sight of intelligence in the sense of this, so this intelligence bureau kind of intelligence, so national security advisor, that kind of intelligence, through that intelligence the king is always awake. So that's the so, and then Shurpanakha says that you don't have such ministers. She tells Ravana that what are the use, you have so many ministers but none of them are effective. Whereas you see Dasharatha's ministers, exactly what is being described here, the opposite is the case of Ravana's ministers. And then to finish this topic, so how should you listen to the advice given by ministers? That also is mentioned twice in Ramayana. So there is one, so it's called Hanumat Sachivyam, but actually it's the Sachivyam of all the Vanaras. So when Vibhishana comes to take Sharanagati, Rama asks the opinion of everybody. So what should we do? There everybody gives free and frank opinion. Some of them say you should not take him at all. Some of them say, Hanuman says you can take him but with some cautions and things like that. So they give free and frank opinion, and then Rama chooses what's the best. And then even in Ravana's case, so before the Yuddha, so even Ravana's ministers give him advice. So but there you can see Ravana's ministers give him advice which is dear to him. And then Vibhishana also says that. So Sulabha Satatam Rajan Priyavadinaha. So there's a shloka like that. So ministers who speak what is good to you are easy to get, but ministers who give the honest opinion, they are difficult to get. So what I'm trying to say is, always you find this contrast in Ramayana. So that is the Kanta Samhita thing that I've been highlighting, is you always are given two options and you can choose from either of them. So why am I saying this? So Jagarti Naya Chakshusha, I am telling for that. So this is connected to that. So whereas Ravana's intelligence has failed, the intelligence bureau of Ravana, even if his great garrison in Janasthana has been attacked, he didn't know. Whereas how are Dasharatha's ministers? They know everything. So Kriyamanam, Kritam, Chikirishitam. So what has been done, Kritam, that they know. Kriyamanam, what is happening in the kingdom, that also they know. And then Chikirishitam, what is being planned by people in the future, that also they know. How do they know? So Charena means through these. So in modern language we should say through these spies. Through these spies, these ministers know everything that is happening in the kingdom. Whereas in Ravana's ministry, so in the minister's cabinet, so they don't know what's happening in the kingdom, something like that. So Tesham Aviditam Kinchit Sveshu Nasti Pareshua. So Tesha means to those ministers, there is nothing that is Aviditam. So there is nothing that these people don't know about what is happening in the kingdom. Kinchit. So there is nothing. Kinchidapi Nasti. That is the meaning. So Kinchit Sveshu Pareshua. So Sveshu Pareshu, you can take it in two ways. Sveshu means in their own, that means amongst their friends, and Pareshu means amongst their enemies. You can take like that, or you can take amongst their own kingdom, and then amongst the people outside. So Sveshu Pareshu va Kinchid Aviditam Nasti. So Charena Aviditam. So So there is nothing that is not known to them through the spies. That means, it means that the spies come and tell them everything that is happening in the kingdom. So this is the intelligence bureau of Dasharatha, and then even the intelligence bureau of Ravana is shown later in Aranyakanda, and there we can see. Then Kushala Vyavahareshu Sauhrideshu Parikshitaha Praptakalam Yatha Dandam Dharayeyu Suteshwapi. So Kushala Vyavahareshu is in their day-to-day activities. They are skillful, Kushala, they are experts. And then Sauhrideshu Parikshitaha means they have been so in modern days, if you have to say, they have been appointed by the kings of Ikshwaku lineage. How have they been appointed? So Parikshitaha, they have been well examined. So even these ministers are examined, and then only they are kept in the ministry. So how are they? So Sauhrideshu Parikshitaha. So they say in today also, I mean in English we have a quote. So you tell me your friends, I will tell you what kind of person are. So you are. So that is what is saying here. Sauhrideshu Parikshitaha means, so who are these people's friends? That is being examined, and then they are kept as the ministers. Sauhrideshu Parikshitaha Praptakalam Yathadandam Dharayeyu Suteshwapi. So Praptakalam means, so Suteshwapi Dandam Dharayeyuhu. So these ministers are so great in their dharmacharana that even if their children, even if their sons are found lacking in dharma, then they are ready to even punish them. So that's the meaning. Praptakalam means if an occasion arises that their own children have engaged in a dharma, then they are ready to punish even them. And then Kosha Sangrahane Yukta Balasya cha Parigrahe Ahitanchapi Purusham na Himsur Avidushakam. So Kosha Sangrahane Yukta, this is what I told in the beginning. So Tyagaya Sambritarthana. So these ministers are, how are they? Kosha Sangrahane Yuktaha. So they are intent upon filling up the treasury. And then Balasya cha Parigrahe Yuktaha. So Balasya is also Chaturanga Bala. So you have this infantry, cavalry, then this elephant, and then Ratha. So Ratha, Gaja, Turaga, Padati, they say. So you have these four what should I say, divisions in the military of the kingdom. So they are always recruiting into the army. So that they are ever intent upon. And then interestingly, the next one, Ahitam Chapi Purusham. So Nahimsyuhu Ahitam Chapi Purusham Avidushakam. So if there is somebody who is not favorable to them, that means there is somebody who's generally he's an enemy to the kingdom, but if he has not specifically committed any crime against the state, against the kingdom, then they don't punish him. So Avidushakam means one who has not committed any crime against the state, but then he is ahitam. So he's somebody who's inimical towards the state. So but then he has not committed specifically any crime. So without any reason, they don't, so preventive custody, something like that is not there. That's the meaning. And then Virascha Niyatotsaha Rajashastra Manushtitaha Shuchinam Rakshitarascha Nityam Vishayavasinam. So Virascha, they are great warriors. Viraha Niyatotsaha. So Niyatotsaha means, so they are always so if a war comes, they are ready to fight. So they are always ever prepared for a war. And then Rajashastra Manushtitaha. So they are experts in this Rajashastram. So which is the Shastra that is useful in running the kingdom. So they are experts in that. And then Shuchinam Rakshitarascha. So they protect the sadhus. So Shuchinam means, so Shuchi actually means clean people, but then cleanliness is not physical here. Cleanliness is in intentions. So Shuchinam Rakshitaraha means they protect the sadhus in the kingdom. And then Nityam Vishayavasinam. Shuchinam Vishayavasinam Rakshitaraha. So Nityam means always they protect. So Vishayavasinam means, Vishaya here means kingdom. So also. So Nityam Shuchinam Rakshitaraha means Nityam Ashuchinam Hantaraha. That also you should take. And then Brahmakshatram Ahimsanste Kosham Samapurayan Sutikshna Danda Samprekshya Purushasya Balabalam. So Brahmakshatram Ahimsantaha te Kosham Samapurayan. So this Brahmakshatram Ahimsan. So Shiromani Kara goes into some, details. He shows Brahmakshatram. So here it means Nastika and things like that, but you don't have to make so much of a meaning. So the simple meaning is, so they don't unnecessarily trouble anybody in collection of their taxes. So Kosham Samapurayan. So while they are filling the treasury, they don't unnecessarily trouble people. So who are those people whom they don't unnecessarily trouble? So Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, and then you can take other people also. So unnecessarily they don't trouble people. So unnecessary taxation is not there. So taxation today also they speak in modern terms about this tax being what should I say, a very I mean burdensome thing. I mean you're unnecessarily taxing people and things like that. But then they don't do it. I mean as much as your income. So we have this progressive taxation and regressive taxation, things like that. So you can say in modern language they engage in progressive taxation. Progressive taxation means a person who's earning higher will pay higher, a person who's earning lower will pay lower. So regressive is the opposite. A person who's earning lower will pay more, person who's earning higher will pay less. So but then so that's how you can take. There is progressive taxation. And then sutikshna dandaha. So samprekshya purushasya balabalam samprekshya sutikshna dandaha. So purushasya means here if anybody has committed any crime. So while so now this person has to be punished. So while awarding punishment to a person who has committed a crime, they will examine the balabalam. So how? So you have to examine. Tilakakara is telling desha, kala, vayas, so age, and then shakti. So you should consider the place where he has committed, so the time that he has committed, and then what is the age of that person who has, the juvenile laws and all that we have today also, the age of the person who has committed the crime, and then the samarthyam. So you can take mental what should I say, samarthyam of the person, so shakti of the person who has committed the crime. So appropriately, so if an mentally unsound person has committed a crime, so the punishment will be different. So even in modern law we see that, in today's law we see, so jurisprudence we see these things. So sutikshna dandaha is, so sutikshna dandaha is if it's a heavy crime, they have a heavy punishment. If it's a moderate crime, they have a moderate punishment. If it is a small crime, they have a small punishment. That's the meaning. So purushasya balabalam samprekshya, that means after examining the bala and abala, so the relative strength and weakness of that person, sutikshna dandaha. So sutikshna danda means give great punishment, but then give great punishment in this context means if it's a grave mistake, they give a great punishment. Then Shuchinam, Prekshya and Pariksha have same root. Possibly, I have to check. I don't know. Could be it's the same root. Yeah. So Shuchinam ekabuddhinam sarvesham samprajanatam nasit pureva rashtreva mrishavadi narah kvachit. So Shuchinam ekabuddhinam sarvesham samprajanatam. So Shuchinam. So the Shuchi is again the same thing. So they are aligned in their thoughts, actions, and deeds. So these ministers are like that. And then ekabuddhina. So they are ekabuddhi. So it's not that these 8 ministers sit in a cabinet meeting and then each one gives an opinion which is contrary to another person's opinion. It's not like that. They have a consensus, but that consensus is arrived at after great deliberation. So ekabuddhi means they are all having they are similar in their thoughts. So they come at the same kind of policy, what should I say, policy prescription for the king. Then sarvesham samprajanatam. So sarvesham samprajanatam means, so in ruling all the people, I mean in ruling the people of the kingdom, they are in ruling, in their process of ruling or administering the kingdom, they have this consensus of policy. And then nasit pureva rashtreva mrishavadi narah kvachit. So pureva rashtreva, so you can say that in the city of Ayodhya itself or in the entire kingdom of Koshala itself, there is no person who will ever speak untruth. So mrishavadi narah kvachit. So pureva rashtreva kvachit means either in the city of Ayodhya or in the kingdom of Koshala itself, in any corner, also any nook and corner, also even in a small place, that means you will find nobody. So this kvachit means even in a small place you will not find a person who speaks untruth. And then kvachinna dushtas tatrasit paradara ratir naraha prashantam sarvamevasi drashtram puravaram chatat. So kvachit dushtaha, so kvachinna dushtaha, so anywhere in the kingdom you will not find a dushta person, a bad conduct person. And what is the bad conduct that is intended here? So paradara ratihi, so who so this is, what is it called, so adultery. So there is nobody who commits adultery. And then in that entire kingdom there is no person who commits adultery, that means he takes to the wife of another person. And then they are prashant, so they are prashanta people, so they are calm and contented people. sarvamevasid rashtram puravarancha tat. So that entire kingdom is such that all, so prashantam, so the puravaram, that rashtram puravaram, the kingdom and the city of Ayodhya itself is prashantam, it's calm. Why is it calm? Because the people are like that. So the people are people who always follow dharma, and so there are no disturbances, or what should I say, so insurgencies and things. So that's how the Tikakaras are saying. So there's nothing that is inimical, so there's nobody who's inimical to the kingdom. And then suvasasa suveshascha techa sarve shuchivrataha hitarthascha narendrasya jagrato nayachakshusha. So this is what I told you. So chakshubhyam prasuptopi jagarti nayachakshusha. So hitarthascha narendrasya hitarthascha. So they are the people in general, not just the ministers, but even the people in general are always intent upon doing what is good for the king. So mind you, I told this also earlier, that in the way these Rashtra, the kingdom was envisaged, the thing was, the king has great dharmic responsibility upon himself. So if the king is dharmika, then the kingdom will also be dharmika. So yatha raja tatha praja we say. So even the people are intent upon doing the welfare for the king. So if you are thinking of the welfare of the king, indirectly you are thinking for the welfare of the entire state, of the entire kingdom. So jagrato nayachakrusha. So they are also, so we say, even in today's context, we say if there is any crime or anything, so immediately we should go and report. So they are also like that. So they are nayachakrusha jagrataha. So they are what should I say, they are awake, or they are very, what should I say, so they have this sense of citizenship, so civic sense they have, or whatever. I mean, I don't know what's the word. So they are so if there is anything wrong in this country is happening, they always go and report. So something like that. Suvasasaha. So suvasasaha means they wear nice garments, and suveshascha means they wear nice ornaments, those people. They shuchivrataha. Shuchivrataha means they always have a good conduct. So adharmic conduct they don't have. So suvasasaha suveshascha techa sarve shuchivrataha hitarthascha narendrasya jagrato nayachakrusha. Then guror gunagrhitascha prakhyataschcha parakramaihi videsheshvapi vijñātās sarvato buddhinishchayaha. So guror gunagrhitascha. So there are two pathas here. Guror gunagrhitascha is one, and then there is another part also, Gurau gunagrhitascha. So Tilakakara says Guror gunagrhitascha. Guror gunagrhitascha means, so the gunas of the guru they take. So what are the good qualities in the guru? So guru means, so each one can have their own guru, or in general of Vasishtha, Vamadeva and people like that. So the good qualities of the guru they take. That could be one meaning. And then Gurau gunagrhitascha means, in the gurus they only see good things. So that's not a very nice patha perhaps, but then Guror gunagrhitascha is nice. So the gunas of the guru they take. But why did I mention the other patha? That's because in Vedas also you find this. So in Taittiriya Aranyakam, so Nashlilam Kirtayed. So there are mantras like that. So you should not speak bad about a Brahmana who's a Vedavit. So a Vedavit Brahmana should always be respected, and things like that you find mantras. So they are like that, you can say. So they don't see the bad qualities in the gurus. So that's possible. That kind of meaning can be given, because in Vedas also, in Taittiriya Aranyaka you find that mantra. But then the more appropriate patha seems to be Guror gunagrhitascha. So the good qualities of the guru they also imbibe. And then prakhyatascha parakramaihi. So parakramaihi prakhyatascha, by their what should I say, prowess, valor, they have gained fame. So they are famous for their prowess. And then where are they famous? Not just in their kingdom. Videsheshvapi vijñātaha. They are well known even in the foreign, I mean in the other, what should I say, in the other kingdoms. So the other Samanta Rajas are there. So even amongst them, these people are very well known, because for what? So they are well known for their buddhi nishchayaha. Because they are buddhi nishchayaha, they are sarvato vijñātaha. Sarvato means within the kingdom, and videsheshvapi. So within the kingdom and in the other kingdoms also, they are prakhyataha. Why? Because they are buddhi nishchayaha. That means they have this capability of ascertaining what is the right thing to do in a given context. So they know that, therefore for that kind of knowledge or that kind of skill, they are well known in the kingdom and in other kingdoms also. Then abhito gunavantascha nachasan gunavarjitaha sandhi vigraha tattvajñāh prakrityā sampadanvitaha. So abhito gunavantascha. Abhitaha means So in all ways, that's the meaning. So all kinds of gunas they have. So abhitaha, you can say sarva deshe sarva kale cha gunavantaha. So in all, at all points in time and at all places, they have nice gunas. So it's not that in the office they are in one way, but when they go home they behave in a different way. It's not like that. Then abhito gunavantaha can also mean they have all the good qualities. So they have all the good qualities. The ministers are like that. And then nachasan gunavarjitaha, there is nobody who does not have these good qualities. There is nobody like that. And then sandhi vigraha tattvajnaha. So sandhi and vigraha, sandhi is when you should form an alliance, and vigraha is when you should engage in a war. So they know that when is it that you should accept a treaty of friendship, and when is it that you have to engage in a war. So they know that very well. You should know that very well. So at an offer which is good to the state, you should not say let's go and fight a war. And at an offer which is inimical to the state, you should not say let's keep, so aman ki asha we say. So this hope or extending the hand of friendship always, even when it is inimical to you, that should not be there. So the minister should know very well when is it good to engage in an act of friendship or an accord of friendship, and when is it better to fight a war. So some smritis are quoted here. When so in all kind of political, what should I say, relationships, there is always some kind of trouble or inconvenience caused. But then when there are small inconvenience only, then it's good to go for sandhi. But if the inconvenience or the threat is huge, then you should go for vigraha. That's what some smritis are being quoted here. So sandhi vigraha tattvajnaha prakritya sampadanvitaha. So prakritya sampadanvitaha means they have naturally, prakritya means naturally, they have some nice qualities in them. That's one way. And Tilakakara gives a nice meaning. Prakritya prakritya sampadanvitaha means, so trigunaya sampadanvita. Prakriti is trigunatmika prakriti, you know. So their gunas are also three. So it consists of sattva, rajas, and tamo gunas also. So their qualities are also threefold. So what are the sattvika gunas? Tatra satvikya sampada shishta palane. So in protecting the sadhus, or the what should I say, sadhu means a person who has not committed any wrong. In protecting such people, they exhibit sattva guna. And tamasya sampada dushta nigraha kale. So the opposite, when you have to punish a dushta, then they show tamasi prakriti. And then bhoga kale rajasya sampada, when they have to enjoy, what should I say, pleasures, then they display rajasi prakriti. So what are those pleasures? So dhana, dhanya, and things like that. Then he gives a list. So in all, while enjoying those kind of pleasures, they display rajasi prakriti. So prakritya sampadanvitaha means they have this threefold qualities, three types of qualities in them. Sattvika prakriti they display when they are protecting the sadhus. And then sadhu just does not mean a sannyasi or something like that. Sadhu means a nice person who's not a threat to the society in general. So he's a sadhu. And then in dushta shikshana they display tamasi prakriti. And when it comes to their own life of enjoying bhogas and things like that, so they display rajasi prakriti. So that is also required. So like I said, so yavane vishayeshina. So this actually, if you see, this sarga seems to have influenced this. Entire Ramayana has influenced Kalidasa, of course, but this sarga also seems to have a lot of influence. So this, you should have bhoga visual. These people are, so this turning back from bhoga is for a spiritual aspirant. But person who is not a spiritual aspirant, who is living a life, then of course you should have these bhogas in the framework of dharma. Anyway, so mantra samvarane shakta sukshmasu buddhishu niti shastra visheshajna satatam priyavadinaha. So mind you, the entire sarga seems to have some problems also, because there are some shlokas which some of the tikakaras have not taken, some of the tikakaras have taken differently. So this is a disclaimer that I always keep giving. I am following Tilakakara's version of this shlokas. Anyway, so mantra samvarane shaktaha. So mantra samvarana is, so the secrets of the kingdom. So mantra is the secret of the kingdom, and samvarana is upholding that secret. So if there are any secrets of the state, so they are good at, so they are shaktaha. So they are capable of upholding that secret. So it seems, of course we are taking time, but then so now that I have said it, let me say it, which is that, so Shekhar Gupta, a journalist, so he says in some talk somewhere, that it seems I.K. Gujral, one of our former prime ministers, he told this to him, that you see, in India there was a phase in the 1990s, and in 1990s you had a phase where we had short-term prime ministers. So prime ministers would come and go, so something like that. So even in such cases, so it seems I.K. Gujral told him that never has an official secret which is a threat to the country at large has been leaked. So if so he says this in a particular context, you can read that article perhaps. So Shekhar Gupta reminiscences I.K. Gujral. So in that he will say, if I remember I.K. Gujral. So something like that. So these ministers are capable of upholding whatever is secret. I mean, what is to be kept as secret, they are good at keeping that as secret. And then Shakta Sukshmasu Buddhishu. So in Sukshma Vichara, that those things which are difficult to, so for example, now Corona pandemic has come, and then how to deal with it. So the ministers have to know. So this is an unprecedented situation. So they have to know how to deal with an unprecedented situation also. And these ministers are capable of that. Even subtle things which they have never faced perhaps, even in such cases, they are capable of doing a vichara and coming at the conclusion of what is to be done. And then Niti Shastra Visheshajnaha, so they know Shastras in general, but then Niti Shastra they know very well. And then Satatam Priyavadinaha, they always speak, so Satatam Priyavadinaha, they always speak what is good. So even this comes later. So mind you, this, so the mirror image of this Sarga you will find later in Ravan, describing Ravana's ministers. So Vibhishana and then Shurpanakha, both of them show what is the cabinet of Ravana like. So Sulabha Satatam Rajan Priyavadinaha, there is a very famous shloka of Vibhishana like that, it comes. So this very same thing. And then Naya Chakrusha, these things come later also. So these people always speak what is pleasant, but then they also keep in consideration what is good for the state also. Whereas the ministers of Ravana always speak what is pleasant, even if it is not good for the country or the kingdom. Anyway, so Satatam Priyavadinaha is they speak very nicely, so very endearingly and things like that. And then Idrishaisthair Amatyaischa Raja Dasharatho Nagha Upapanno Gunopetair Anvashasat Vasundharam. So Idrishaihi Amatyahi. So Amatyahi means by, so Dasharatha has these kind of Amatyas, these kind, Idrishaihi means this kind of. So this kind of means Amatyas who have these kind of qualities, all that has been described so far. So Idrishaihi Amatyahi, Idrishaihi Taihi Amatyahi. So Dasharatha is Upapannaha, that means he has these kind of, so he's endowed with these kind of Amatyas whose qualities have been described so far. So Raja Dasharatho Nagha. Anagha is one who has not committed, so one who is a pure person, so one who has not committed any sin or things like that. So that Raja Upapannaha, he is endowed with these kind of ministers. And then Gunopetaihi, so who have Idrishaihi Gunopetaihi, you can say. So Amatyas who are endowed with these kind of gunas, Upapannaha. And then what does he do? Shashasa Vasundharam. So having these ministers, he is ruling over the kingdom. So like I said in the beginning, so if you take in the Adhyatmic sense, with these kind of Ashtadha Prakriti, the Jiva is enjoying the world. So the Prakriti is the world, and then through this Prakriti. So by Anatma, so senses are also Anatma, you know. So the world is being enjoyed through the senses. So the Jiva mistakes himself as the Jiva. I mean, he's not the Jiva, but then he mistakes himself to be the Jiva, and he enjoys this world through this Ashtadha Prakriti. And then Vasundharam, Shashasad Vasundharam means Dasharatha is ruling over this entire earth with the help of these kind of eight ministers. And then Avekshamanas Charena Praja Dharmena Rakshayan Prajanam Palanam Kurvan Adharmam Parivarjayan Vishrutas Trishulokeshu Vadanya Satya Sangaraha Satatra Purusha Vyagraha Shashasa Prithvi Imam. So Imam Prithvi, this entire earth, Shashasa Purusha Vyagraha. So Purusha Vyagraha literally means the tiger amongst men. That means that the Sreshta among men, that Dasharatha is ruling over this entire Prithvi, and then along with these Amatyas. And how is he ruling over this Prithvi? Prajanam Palanam Kurvan. So he's protecting the citizens. And then Adharmam Parivarjayan. So how is he protecting the people? By seeing to it that they don't follow adharma, and then dharmena rakshayan, and then he himself follows dharma and sets an example so that people follow dharma. This is very important. So dharmena rakshayan is he follows dharma so that people follow dharma, seeing him. And then if anybody is doing adharma, then he punishes them. And then avekshamanas charena. So charena avekshamana is through these spies, he is always looking at the kingdom. So these spies are to be, the spies and the ministers are considered to be the eyes of the king, you know. So Charena Anvekanaha is through these spies, he's gathering information about the kingdom. And then Vishrutas Trishu Lokeshu. So in all the three lokas, Dasharatha is famous. Then he is Vadanyaha. So Vadanyaha, earlier we have seen in previous sarga, Vadanyaha are people who are very charitable. Here you can say Vadanyaha means he speaks appropriate to whatever is the context, that kind of meaning you can give. And then Satya Sangaraha. So Satya, so Sangara is Sangrama. So Sangara is in war. He Satya Sangaraha means he has so his prowess is such that in a war he emerges victorious, you can say like that. Or you can say that he never engages in an adharmic war. So such kind of Dasharatha Purusha Vyaghra is ruling over this entire Prithvi, Shashasa Prithvi Mimam. And then Nadhyagacchad Vishishtam va Tulyam va Shatrumatmanaha Mitravan Nata Samantaha Pratapa Hatakantakaha Sashasa Jagadraja Divi Devapatiryatha. So Divi Devapatiryatha, so this keeps coming again and again. So like Indra ruled over Amaravati, Dasharatha is ruling over this Ayodhya city. And then how is he ruling that? So Mitra, so Nata Samantaha. So all these other kings, so on earth, they have all become, he has subjugated them. That means they are all now his Samanta Rajas only. So in that sense, he is so he has subjugated all those Samanta kings. So they are under his control. And then Pratapa Hata Kantakaha. Kantaka literally means a thorn. So by his prowess, he has eliminated all the thorns. That means all these people who are inimical to him, he has eliminated them through his prowess. And then Nadhyagacchad Vishishtam va Tulyam va Shatrum Atmanaha. So he has never, so Dasharatha has never come across a Shatru who is greater than him or who is equal to him. So that's the meaning. So Adhyagachat means he has never come across Atmanaha Vishishtam va, so somebody who is greater than himself, or Atmanaha Tulyam va, somebody who is equal to himself. So such a Shatru he has never come across. So that such a Shatru Dasharatha has never come across. And whatever inferior Shatrus are there, those people he has already subdued them. If they are willing to serve him, he has subdued them by making them the Samanta kings. And if they have become too much of a problem, he has eliminated them. So if they have become thorny, so Kantakaha if they have become, he has eliminated them. And this is how he is ruling over the entire kingdom. So Shashasa Jagadra, so he is ruling over the entire world. So Shashasa Jagadraja Divi Devapatiryatha. Like the king, like Indra ruled over Amaravati, Dasharatha is ruling over this entire earth. Now in the last shloka he gives a very nice simile. Let's see. So Tair Mantribhir Mantri Hite Nivishtaihi Vrtonuraktaih Kushalaih Samarthaihi Saparthivo Deepti Mavapayuktaha Tejomayair Gobhirivodhitorkaha. So Tair Mantribhihi. So by that kind of ministers, Mantra Hite Nivishtaihi. So Mantra Hita means, so mantra I told you is vichara of what is kartavya and akartavya. And mantra hita is the phalam of that vichara. So the end product of policy making. So the policy decision itself. So these people are always interested in coming out with the policy that is appropriate for the kingdom. So by that ministers, he is vritaha, he is surrounded or he is endowed with such kind of ministers. Then anuraktahi is they are engaged in the welfare of the kingdom. So they are interested in the welfare of the kingdom by such ministers. Kushalaihi, very skillful people. And then samarthaihi. So kushalaihi, samarthaihi, you have to show some difference. So kushalaihi is they are skillful, and samarthaihi is they are effective also. So they are skillful in taking a policy decision, and they are effective in so skillful in making the appropriate policy and effective in implementing the policy by such ministers. Saparthivo Deepti Mavapa. So that so Samarthaihi Yuktaha. So he is together. I mean he has such kind of ministers, Dasharatha, and through such kind of ministers, Saparthivaha, that Raja, Deepti Mavapa. So he gains a lot of glory. He gains a lot of brilliance around him. And how is it? So he gives a nice simile. So Gobhirivodhitorkaha. So Gobhihi means through race. So Gohu means here. So Gauhu means cow, but then Gobhihi. So Gobhihi is plural, cows. So by cows, but then Gobhihi here does not mean cows. It means so by race of the sun. So Uditorkaha means the rising sun. Arka is sun and Uditorkaha is rising sun. So the rising sun, as even he is rising, so his rays make him even more brilliant. So something like that. So this Dasharatha, So by his ministers, such kind of ministers, he gets a lot of fame. So Deepti Mavapa, Deepti is Kanti, but then here you can take fame. So he's getting a lot of fame by these ministers, like the rising sun gets a lot of what should I say, brilliance. So Udita Arkaha, I was wondering why Udita rising sun is given. So that's the Kavi's intention of saying now that some good for Dasharatha is going to happen. So he's Udita Arkaha, he's rising sun. So this is the Dhvani. So he's saying rising sun. That means this is some kind of an Ashirvada that the Kavi is making, or the Kavi is hinting to us. So he's Udita Arkaha, he's giving the example of a rising sun, not a setting sun. Setting sun means it's time for Dasharatha to leave. So that's how these Kavis describe. So always in Kavitas you will see that there is description of the time and things like that, but then that subtle messaging. So here also Uditar Kaha shows that some good is going to happen to this Dasharatha, and what is that good? Nothing but Sakshat Narayana is going to take avatara in his family. So that we will see next Sarga. So far we have seen a general picture of what's happening in Ayodhya. Also rays are highly during rising sun. Yeah, that's also there. So yeah. Yeah, if you see the afternoon sun, you can't see the sun also. But then here, so Uditar Kaha, you can say that the presence of the king is felt. So and then the rising sun's rays are not so tikshna, they are not so hot. They are very, what should I say, pleasurable to watch and things like that. Like that, these ministers are also, they are not very harsh people and things like that. So they are very, I mean, they are good towards good people, something like that. You can take all that meaning. But then I thought this Uditar Kaha shows it's kind of, he's setting the ambience for what is going to come later. And from the next Sarga, we will see direct speech will start. Dasharatha will start speaking, and then we will see tomorrow. So Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adi Kavye Balakande Saptamas Sargaha. ओम यत्र यत्र रघुनाथ कीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।